start again so I just met with the Vice President of El Salvador. I'm grateful for the meeting. The president is out of the country at this time. So I appreciated the chance to talk to the Vice President about the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Esta mañana estuve platicando con el vicepresidente de la República, el señor Ulloa. Estuvimos y aprecio el porque el presidente está fuera del país en este momento. Y estuvimos de acuerdo en que vamos a hablar sobre el caso de Kilmar Abrego.
And we started the conversation on a point of agreement, which is that our two countries should work together to crack down on transnational gangs like MS-13. And I told the Vice President that for over 2 decades, I have worked in my state of Maryland to crack down on MS-13. And look forward to further efforts to make sure that we crack down on violent gangs. I think that's important to underscore because the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia does not have to do with MS-13. If you listen to President Trump and the Trump administration, you would think that the U.S. courts have found that Mr. Abrego Garcia is part of MS-13, but in fact, they have not found that. In fact, recently, a U.S. federal court judge said that the Trump administration did not have evidence to support the claim that he had ever been part of MS-13. In fact, Mr. Abrego Garcia is legally in the United States. In fact, an immigration judge found years ago that it would put his life in danger if he was returned to El Salvador. And so he was given protective status and a work permit. And by the way, that was done during the last Trump administration, the last time President Trump was in office, and they never appealed that decision. So I want to emphasize that President Trump and our Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Vice President of the United States are lying when they say that Abrego Garcia has been charged with a crime or is part of MS-13. That is a lie. And this is a lie to cover up what they did. So what did they do? So they illegally abducted Mr. Abrego Garcia from Maryland and sent him to CICA, which is a notorious prison here in El Salvador.
Estados Unidos y lo trasladaron a México.
In fact, it's a prison where they say they send the worst of the worst, right? That's where they send the terrorists. Now, the courts of the United States have said there's no evidence to support the charge that he's part of MS-13. So I asked the vice president whether or not El Salvador has any evidence that he's part of MS-13 or has committed a crime.
En las cortes de los Estados Unidos no existe ninguna evidencia que diga que el señor Abrego García fue un miembro de la SST. Así que la pregunta que le hice yo esta mañana al vicepresidente Ulloa es si El Salvador tiene pruebas de que el señor Abrego García sí es miembro de la.
So I asked the vice president if Abrego Garcia has not committed a crime and the U.S. courts have found that he was illegally taken from the United States, and the government of El Salvador has no evidence that he was part of MS-13. Why is El Salvador continuing to hold him in CCOT?